Hello and welcome to my drawing new Pokemon designs that I came up with. I've been wanting to make a video like this for a while, since I've seen plenty of other YouTubers making videos where they create their own Pokemon, and seemed like something that I wanted to try my hand at. Of course, this video is a bit easier to make if you're really good at drawing, unless you commission an artist, which I'm not. So, I saw this video as a challenge for myself to create something. I've drawn 3 original Pokemon created by myself that I'm going to share with you all in this video. So for the first drawing, I wanted to draw a Pokemon based on an animal we haven't seen before in the Pokemon world yet. Arguably the most common answer to this question is usually a dolphin, but in my opinion this isn't a very interesting animal choice, considering how similar dolphins are to other aquatic creatures. Instead, the animal I've chosen to make a Pokemon out of is a peacock. Yes, we have plenty of bird Pokemon, but peacocks have an extremely unique look, making for a lot of potential when it comes to a Pokemon design. Also, a bit of peacock trivia for you. The correct term for this animal is actually peafowl. However, a male peafowl is referred to as a peacock, and females are called peahens. But peacock is obviously the most well-known name for this animal. Getting together reference images, I noticed how colourful peacocks can be, so I made it a goal to try and use as many colours as I could when designing this peacock Pokemon. For the main body, I experimented with different shaped beaks and body shapes. I also wanted the patterns on the feathers to be unique, since they're basically the standout part of a peacock, which was probably the part I was most looking forward to. Deciding what colours to use was probably the trickiest part, since there were so many great combinations that looked amazing on it. The traditional colours you'll usually see on a peacock is blue on the body, with green and yellow for the rest. But again, I wanted to experiment with as many colours as I could. It was definitely challenging getting the shape right, since a peacock already kind of looks like a Pokemon, but eventually I managed to get it just right. And here is my completed drawing of a peacock Pokemon. I called it PEABON. Its name is a combination of peacock and rainbow, since it's so colourful. It's also a psychic and flying type, and uses its eye things on its feathers to unleash its psychic powers. And the feathers also light up in all kinds of different colours. I personally think this would be a really strong design for a peacock-like Pokemon. It took me a while to make, so I hope you guys like it as well. Moving on to the second Pokemon I designed, I really wanted to make something that wasn't based on an animal, more like a cool inanimate object Pokemon. Since a lot of inanimate object Pokemon are hated so much, I figured I'd try to make one that the majority of people really liked. To try and get some inspiration, I took a walk outside and noticed a lot of cars, which made me realise that we didn't really have a Pokemon fully based on a vehicle. And no, Go-Go being based on a motorcycle doesn't count. This then reminded me that the DRAKAREON line was apparently supposed to be based on tanks, hence the tank patterns on it. So I thought it would be cool to make my own tank Pokemon, as a tank is much cooler looking than something like a car. I also wanted to fuse it with something else, and I thought a tank-like insect would be pretty awesome if done right. And what better insect to make into a tank than a stag beetle? Getting a rough sketch of this tank-like bug was pretty self-explanatory. These just seem like 2 things that were meant to be fused together. I also noticed that a lot of stag beetles have a red tint to them, and thought that this would be a really cool shade to give it. Most tanks you see are kind of greenish, greyish colour, so a red shade will make it stand out more, and it suited it really well. Then after some experimenting, I think I came up with something that I really liked. Oh, hang on, that's not it. It's called Armug, which is a combination between armour and bug. It's of course a bug steel type, and has a really high defense stat. It can also shoot stuff out of its horn, like a tank. This is probably the design that took me the longest to make, but overall really happy with how it turned out, and glad I managed to get it done for the video. For the third and final Pokemon of the video, I wanted to tackle an evolution of an already existing Pokemon. And what better Pokemon to make a new evolution for than Eevee? Of all the types Eevee has yet to evolve into, Dragon and Ghost were the ones that intrigued me the most. So I decided to go for a Dragon type evolution, since, well, dragons are awesome. I got together a load of references, and while drawing out my future Dragon evolution, I knew my main goal was to make something that not only had dragon-like qualities, but you could also tell it was something that Eevee evolves into. I took the dog, cat, fox, whatever animal Eevee is, and added some appropriate dragon-like features. Like wings. Gotta have wings if you're a dragon, right? Oh, and horns. It's also gotta have a cool looking tail. I decided to make it dark skinned, since dark coloured dragons always look cool. Also some red, because black and red usually always looks really good together. I also wanted it to have cool looking eyes, so I went with a bright greenish turquoise-ish colour. Dragons don't usually have hair, but I wanted it to have a mane similar to Eevee's. Some dragons also have jewellery, right? So I added a bracelet on one of its arms. I think it looks really nice anyway. And that should about do it. There. So the most common names given to a dragon type evolution tend to be ones like DRAKAREON or Wyvion. Well, I decided to call my evolution DRAKAREON. Also, as you can see, it's not as well designed as the other two, but I really wanted an Eevee evolution in the video, so apologies if it looks rushed compared to the other two. So those are my own Pokemon designs that I drew by myself. I know it might seem unlikely for me to draw something as crazy looking as PEABON, but I did indeed draw it. I really hope you enjoyed my drawings. Don't know if I'll ever make a video like this again, but who knows. And if you did enjoy, leaving a like would be greatly appreciated, subscribe for more Pokemon videos in the future, and until next time, thank you so much for watching.